Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I drink tea and watch anime.
I drink tea and watch anime!
Today, we're doing something completely different and for the first time, watching a piece of Western animation. I've never done this before on the channel and I'm excited to see how it goes because we are going to be watching Critical Role's Legends of Vox Machina. Why? Why you do this, Teeaboo? Why are you doing this? Normally you exclusively watch anime. What the fuck is going on here? Well, first of all, I'm a fan of Critical Role, and I've been a fan of Critical Role for a good little while. I started watching it around the time that Vox Machina was finishing up their first campaign and transitioning into campaign 2. And then I simul-watched it where I was watching on Mondays when they came out on YouTube, because I wasn't sure about the whole Twitch thing at this point. Would watch the Campaign 2 episodes, and then in the interim, while I was fiending for content, would go back and watch more of the Campaign 1 episodes and catch up through that way. I have spent the requisite hundreds and hundreds of hours watching Critical Role, and then going and re-watching all of Campaign 1 and all of Campaign 2 more than once. I'm very familiar with the media. I'm very excited by the media. I love these people. I've spent hours and hours and hours watching and listening to and understanding the characters and worlds and crazy decisions that this wonderful group of very, very creative, deeply talented people make happen every week on Thursdays on their Twitch channel. Normally, I exclusively watch anime, but I am a huge fan of Critical Role. Just gonna throw some things out there. My favorite characters are Tide, Scanlan, and Grog. Laura is my favorite role player and my favorite player on the cast. She's just amazing, and I love her. And all of them are good and great in their own different and multifarious ways. Reasons to watch this thing. Number 2. I am a dungeon master. I've been doing this for about a year now. I've been DMing, and I can draw a direct line from the fact that I'm DMing back to the fact that I watched Critical Role. Although it wasn't Matt who initially fully inspired me to go for it, that title goes to the wonderful Brennan Lee Mulligan of Dimension 20 fame, because once I ran out of Critical Role, I had to branch out and watch other things and listen to other things. So mad respect to Brennan Lee Mulligan, because it was his Adventuring Party and Adventuring Academy episodes watching through, as well as the great YouTube videos by Matthew Colville, that got me convinced to actually go ahead and take the plunge and Dungeon Master. But for the last year or so, I've been running a pretty seriously redone version of Waterdeep Dragon Heist, using some elements borrowed from Justin Alexander's The Alexandrian remix, which is fantastic, by the way, as well as adding all sorts of my own stuff into that. And so we've been running about a year's worth of a weekly campaign on that front. And just recently, you may notice there's a giant boat behind me. Yay. This boat has battle grids on it, which is super cool. But I have recently started running a pirates campaign, a low magic pirate setting where all of my characters are grimy, filthy pirates. And they're off doing interesting things in this pirate world where rum bubbles up magically from the earth and is controlled by various pirate lords. They're having a lot of fun with it, and I'm having a lot of fun running it, and it's super duper fun. Wonderful. Third reason, actually, one more thing on the DMing front. I asked my roommate / landlord who paints minis. He just really likes doing it. He's deeply talented. I asked him to let me borrow one mini that he would like me to show off. I've got a couple of other minis over here. I've got this is a nice little Behir, and I've got this dude with a gun and a sword who will be he's tin. He's made of tin, and he's gonna be one of my player characters. But I asked for one mini to show off from the man who painted it. And I thought he was gonna choose like fucking dope dragon, or a big owl bear, or like a scary slime, or like a beholder, or, you know, something cool. And instead, I have to do a thing with the zoom and the thing. There. He chose this glorious, glorious little quartet of kobold mariachis who are beautiful. I imagine Madame Musk bursting open and these guys all diddly 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 dee. How wonderful. So I just wanted to show these off, and I might be showing off more minis each time we record one of these. But yeah, look at them. Their little tails, and their little hats, and their little kobold mariachis. They're wonderful. Not all of the detail is super visible on camera, unfortunately, but that should give you a little bit of a depiction of dem kobolds, which are very cute and a very good choice from him. Anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there because I thought it'd be fun. Can you tell that I'm having fun? I'm sorry for the long-winded discussion here. I am hoping that if there's any fan base that's okay with longer format content, it would be the Critical Role fan base, as well as anybody who'd be okay with like announcements at the beginning of a video. Obviously, I'm no Sam Riegel with like a NordVPN bit or anything like that, but hopefully you'll bear with me. My third reason, besides being a fan and being a DM and just being interested in Critical Role and being interested in Dungeons and Dragons and being interested in a really unique piece of content, like nobody's really done this. I can think of one show, Records of Lodos War, that I know of that's like a legitimate, to some extent, adaptation of a D&D campaign. It's really unique as a piece of starting source material, and it's going to be really interesting to see how that goes and how it meshes with producing a show. But the third and maybe biggest reason for me wanting to watch this and to do so on the channel and to discuss it and to react to it and to talk it through the way that I do with other pieces of media is that I'm really interested in the fact that this is, as far as I know, the biggest kickstarted piece of media ever in history. That's fascinating to me as somebody who follows the animation industry and follows animators and follows directors and things like that, and is deeply interested and invested in the continued creation of animated media and the success of that animated media, because that success means the creation of more media, the development of a totally, well, I guess not totally novel. I mean, Mind Game and Kickheart and a couple of other things have been kickstarted anime that have existed, and there have been kickstarted animations before, but there's never been anything on the scale of this. And what that means to me is, well, it's a couple things. If this is as successful as it could be, and it probably will be, given the way that my phone has, just because the predictive algorithms understand that I like Critical Role, has been blowing up with articles and news and videos and media that's related to Critical Roles coming out with Legends of Vox Machina, that tells me that people are going to have their eye on this, and not just ordinary folks like you and me who watch these things, but the kind of people who make production decisions. So the belief that a different way of funding pieces of media like this could exist is really fascinating, and it could determine a different course for animation and media in the future. I genuinely think, even though this is a niche community thing, that Critical Role is such a breakout success that the continued and potential success of this piece of animated media, the way that it's going to bring people toward animation, the way that it's going to bring creators to Kickstarter and to similar creation mediums, and the way that it's going to bring eyes onto Dungeons and Dragons, animation, and Kickstarter as a trio, I think is going to have lasting ramifications for the way that we see media being produced in the future, at least in the US, if not globally. And I'm really excited to see how that plays out. And I'd like to be there at the forefront of it, talking about the media as it comes out, criticizing it for what it does poorly, if it does anything poorly. And as somebody who's both deeply invested in animation and deeply invested in the stories told by this particular group of people who call themselves Critical Role and who play the characters of Vox Machina, I'm really excited to see what this piece of media brings to bear and to be a part of that initial wave of discussion and conversation around it. So, with all of that said, we are going to be watching episode 1 of Legends of Vox Machina today, right now. I will make a mention of spoilers now. Again, I have seen all of Campaign 1 and Campaign 2, and I'm currently watching Campaign 3. I might spoil stuff inadvertently or advertently. I don't know that that's a word, but it feels like it should be. Inadvertently or intentionally, I will be spoiling things from Campaign 1, Campaign 2, and potentially Campaign 3 of Critical Role. That's fucked. Sorry. If you haven't seen those pieces of media yet, you should get on that real quick. And by real quick, I mean spend the requisite 400 plus hours watching all of Campaign 1 of Critical Role, and then come back and watch this video. Also, if you'd like to spend your time watching Vox Machina, which has dozens and dozens of episodes as well, you should probably do that, and that's important. Just watch all of the things, and then you can come back and watch my video. If you don't care, then you don't care, and it's totally okay. But that's the fact of things. I'm not going to try to censor myself or avoid making references to things that are referential and fun. I'm just gonna talk about the things that I want to talk about until I don't want to talk about them anymore, and then we'll be done. Great. Okay, newcomers, hello. There are no ads on this video. You might notice that, you might not. If you do notice it, and then you don't have an ad blocker, and you should probably get one of those. If you don't notice it, then you probably have an ad blocker, and good. I don't like ads. I also don't put ads on my videos, ever. I just don't monetize them. If you would like to support me and the production of content that continues on my channel, you can do so by heading over to the Patreon, which is linked in the description. Big fan of crowdfunding individuals and big fan of crowdfunding media, if you can't tell. But all of my channel is supported entirely by Patreon contributors, and so if you would like to be a part of that, you can totally do so. Doing so will also net you Discord access at any tier, which is very cool, where you can hop on into my mostly anime-focused Discord and talk to people about anime if you'd like to. But if you shell out $5, you can get early access to all my content, which might be cool for you. So check that out if you'd like to as well. Okay, I think that's about it. I think we're almost done here with with announcements. I know, again, it's been a long one. I'm so excited to watch this. Talked about spoilers, talked about reasons for watching this, talked about me and what I want to do here. Talked about characters, talked about the cast, talked about all freaking sorts of stuff. Yeah, let's go ahead and turn our attention to the show itself. Now, I don't know what format this will be in. As I record this video, I don't know what it's going to look like for you. But I assume that I will probably do this as just a timer-based version. Normally, for most of my anime episodes, I can get away with doing a picture-in-picture version that's linked on other sites, where people can, for their own convenience, go and watch the thing already synced up with the video in the thing, and that's great. Don't super want to do that with an Amazon Prime show. Don't super want to do that in a way that would take any sort of like money or contribution or finance from Critical Role away from those people. Because all respect to them and the piece of media that they've created for my enjoyment and yours. I think I'd rather just leave it be and let it be, and just do it as timers. That said, I might change my mind on that depending on how people feel about it and whether there are, I don't know, if I change my mind on that, I might. But in any case, there will be at least one version of this reaction video, and it will be a timer-based reaction. So there will be a little section where you can sort of see the video, which will help you like understand when we've like switched scenes and know where you are synced in it. And then there will be right over here, over there, in that corner, there will be a little timer, and at the beginning of the video, it's going to go boop, 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 beep, and red, yellow, yellow, green, kind of like a starting light at a race. And so when you want to sync up your own copy of this episode with that timer, on the beep and the green light, you can push the button and it'll let you do that, and you can just sync it up perfectly, and then you'll be watching it alongside me at the same time, and there won't be any problems there. That way, I don't infringe on people's copyrights, but you can watch me watch the content when you want to, and that should be good for all of us, I think. I hope that's good. Give me 1 second to make sure that I haven't not talked about anything that I want to talk about, and then we will be back to count down and actually get into this. See you in a sec. Nope, we're good to go. Okay, let's get ready for it. We're going to watch episode 1 of Critical Role Legends of Vox Machina. I've got it up and ready to go. I already mentioned the versions and stuff. The beep beep timer to count you down is coming at you right now. Let's get to it. It is an Amazon Prime original. Hello. Oh, hi, Matt. Mm-hmm. Ooh. A time of peace, eh? And it wasn't. Okay. What is the Grady? Obviously undead thing? Wait, who's that? Oh, these guys are fucked. Okay, never mind. No. So we're going hard for the shock value initially. Don't know if I'm a fan of that yet. Oh, I was wondering about that, whether Matt would be meta about this. Slaughtered! Oh, it's Uriel. Is that Allura? Who dat? Don't know who this is. Sir Fince? That is Allura. I mean, of course. Blonde, blue. That could be arranged. Oh, we're drinking. Of course we're drinking. Oh, hello, everybody. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Kiki. Again. Yep. It's good to have Liam doing Vax again. Oh. Has actually done that? You haven't heard of Vox fucking Machina? Well, let's go kill some people in a bar fight. Yeah, okay. Oh. No, no, wait! A hand indeed! Just put it in the bag. It'll go with the troll dick. Alright. That's a great intro to our characters. Oh, we're doing one of these. Oh, it's this. Wow, it's a mix of the campaign 2 theme. Ha! Huh. Very good. Oh, we're having fun with it. Don't fuck with the druid. Oh, why? Okay, don't fuck with the druid. Hmm. They definitely took some cues from Korra in the way that they're doing some of these fight sequences. Not that that's a bad thing. It's not. Fuck. I didn't realize we'd have nudity. Now time for us to dump truck. No, I'm doing something. Who is this? Oh, fuck. Probably best you don't know. Didn't we just steal some money? I don't have any. Oh boy. Okay. And how will we get found by the people? Yep, there you go. You're very welcome, Scanlan. All right, and we're kicked out. Oh, he's still got the hand. Oh, there goes his silk G-string. Always, always. Krog's amazing. Krog's amazing. Don't you say it. No! Ew! Oh boy. Yep. Yeah. Oh, it's the bag of holding. It's funny because this is a conversation that Vax brings up right before the conclave occurs. Oh, interesting. Just gonna pissed by the message board? My guy. Wow, he's tiny. Everything. Plenty. The leader of the squad. Great. Well, that's very pretty. I actually think that they did the lighting really well throughout this scene. I don't love the lighting on the characters. It's quite flat, but it's fine. How does his helmet move? Trinket. Oh. Ooh, CG doors. Was that a reaction to the smell of grog? I assume so. Oh. We get to meet the king. Oh, the who? So we're doing, instead of doing the feast, we're doing this here. Because that's the first mention of it. Hello. Is that? That is Lady Kima, isn't it? It's a clever play. Sure, Percy. Oh! That's Krieg! Oh! No, don't do it. Oh god. Please do it. Please do it, though. Keyleth hung over. Oh. He does do that. Something, bitch? Nope. Shirts. Fuck yes. Fucking amazing. He hasn't hit on Pike yet. Machina. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Very much. Well, alright then. Oh, that's what's his face. Okay. They do. Yeah, give him a chance. Eh. Whoops. What's that? Oh. Is it her sense? It is. It would have to be. It would have to be her ranger sense. She's sensing somebody, but she thinks it's Vince. Vince? Interesting. Ooh. Shiny. I like shiny things. Airship? Airship? Broomstone. Airship. Hey. I love Grog laughing. Travis does that so fucking well. That's very pretty. What's up? Oh, Allure's with us. What is this creature? Is this the lich? Probably. Haha, haha. Yes. Not us. Money, please. Where have I heard her before? The Allura voice actress. I don't know. Good luck. See ya! Do we have the carpet? I don't think we have the carpet. Hey, it's a little town. Do the investigating. Nope, there we go. Tell me we'll get to hear it. Nope, we don't get to hear it? Damn it. Alright, get out of here, Scanlan. 30-something deception and persuasion doesn't help. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Got holes in all the right places. Sure. They're gonna die. Nope. Nope. Vax giving away money? I don't know. No, it's good. Really? Not a Durgan? Really? Are we sure? Any scales? Any feathers? Oh, Trinket found something. Good boy. Shit. It's a weird way to go. Toe. Oh, we're starting that off. Oh, we're starting that off here. Cool. Ooh, nice landscape. Cool cliff. A transforming beast, you say? Something... Aye, and it's a dragon. Methinks. It's gonna be a rabbit? Tiny bunny? Yeah, okay. Close enough. Get the fuck out! Otto, something worse. I like how we're setting this up. Oh. Really? Oh. That is a large CG dragon. I can't tell what color that's supposed to be. Is that Blau? That's Blau. That is a blue Durgan. Okay, I'm guessing it's... Sorry. Sorry. I'm guessing that's Krieg. Don't love the CG of the CG dragon, but that's okay. How else are you gonna do it? That's blue. That's Krieg. Yeah, no, fuck that. Yeah. Let's rage. We get a theme song. Fuck. Shit. Ow. He's fine. He's fine. I like that shot. That might have been my favorite shot of the episode so far. Oh, blazing bowstring. Bigby's hand. Shield of Faith? Dagger, dagger, dagger. Gotta hit all the moments. Please don't turn this into farts. Keyleth? Fear aura. Oh, shit, she's calling lightning. Well, let's do that. That's not gonna work, right? He's blue. No, he's blue. That's not gonna fucking work. Yeah, a little bit. Zap, zap. Not a thing. It'll be fine. And thus ends Vox Machina. Goodbye, Blue Dragon. Wow, we've got a villain. And we're fine. Hey, good job, Kiki. Oh, Percy must be broken. All of you. A reason to be. Zap. There we go. Wunzo Kuro. Oh, bestest buddies. Good. No, there we go. Oh, we're making it a lot less creepy so far. Uh-huh. I like the firelight on the edges. Oh, a dragon! Mm. Mm. Starting off with that story. You felt it in the council chamber. Laura's good. And you suspect Vince. Of course. No! We're gonna fight the dragon! Fuck it up! Let's go! My D&D party would never decide to do something like that. They would just throw themselves at the dragon. Ah! Oh. Oh. Cute. I'm really liking the way the characters look in the far shots. Even more than I like them up close. I think they could use one more shading layer. But that's just for my preferences. Backgrounds look amazing. Shit. The kids. The kids. Ah, shit. Well, now it's personal. Oh, just gotta sit there in the rain like an edgy boy, my boy. Yeah, you deserve it. Yeah. Oh, that's some stuff. Yep, that's some stuff. Oh, can we the kid? Oh. Signs of life. Heroes. Well, hell. Wow, we're starting episode 1 with a kid dying. That's a way to do it. Damn. I want to kill a fucking dragon. Hmm. Starting the build up in the music. Oh, he doesn't have a beard. I just realized he doesn't have a fucking beard. Whoa. Yeah, crazy. What? Yeah, we are. Yeah, of course. I like the way he says fucking dragon. He says that in campaign at some point. I don't remember when. I think they pulled it off. Oh, it's Mary. Was Allura. Was Allura Mary Elizabeth McGlynn? I think it might have been. That's crazy to me, but yeah, Korea. That makes sense. Still a minute left. I don't know what that is going to consist of. Amazon Studios. Is it just going to be the... Okay, yeah, it's going to be the version credits. Cool. I'm going to stop here. Boom. I do want to check in the end credits. I saw Mary Elizabeth McGlynn come up. I want to see if she's playing Allura or what's going on there. So just give me a sec. Yeah, animation services by Production Reve. I'm not familiar, but they are all Korean names, so I'm going to just say it's a Korean animation studio, which makes perfect sense. A lot of Western animation gets outsourced to Korea for at least like colorization and stuff. I know that in particular Korra did, which is one of the reasons that I bring Korra back up again. No, it's Indira Varma. I don't know that actress's name. I'm going to look her up. Oh, she's one of the... She's in Game of Thrones. I see. I don't know her voice. Okay, cool. It's Carrie as Uriel. I've stayed away from all of that stuff. It's David Tennant as Krieg. Okay, that's crazy. Stephanie Beatriz is Lady Kima of Vord. Zoe O'Brien. Okay, great. And it was voice director Mary Elizabeth McGlynn and casting by Sam. Very cool. Okay, I think they pulled it off. I don't, I come into this and I'm honestly half expecting to hate it. That's the true situation here. Now, because it's Critical Role content, I was, hopeful, obviously, that I would love it, and I come into this wanting to love it. I always come into a show wanting to love it. I don't know if I love it yet, but I don't hate it, and that's a huge win. Western styling on animation is very different, and a lot of the style of this animation is very different. I don't love the way the characters look. I'll be honest with that. Straight up and straightforward, this is low detail to me. I don't like the lack of variation in the line art or coloration in the line art. It feels thin, and the line art feels thin to me, and makes the characters feel very flat. But it's consistent all the way through, and once you watch enough of something in a particular style, it starts to fade out and become a little bit better looking. And I do think it looks better than I thought it looked before. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Now, I've stayed away from all of the promo art and all of the art pieces, but it's just like there's a lack of character to the line art specifically, in a way that I don't know, is I think typical of modern Western animation, but is not something that I love to see. That said, the color, the feel of the characters, and the expressiveness that they're able to put into them, I do think is great. And I think it works out really well. And even with not loving the direct style of the line art, again, I think I would like one more color layer here. Just like technically speaking, we've got one tone of shadow and one tone of light for each of their like portions, for each of their colors. Like Allura's hair has one color, two colors. There are just two colors to the hair. I would want either like a highlight color in here or a second layer of shadow to create more variation there and make things feel a little bit like more like they have depth and more like they have realism. But that's just me, and that's what I would kind of expect from something like this. That said, I think it looks more than good enough. And then it starts to move, and it moves well. So I'm okay with that. Particularly here, we start to see the expressiveness in the faces, and we see that they're capable of having these characters be highly expressive. You match that up with really expressive voice actors, and these characters who have all of this like work put into them, very obviously work put into them by the actors, by the people playing them, by the creators of the characters themselves, to make them produced in a way that they feel like they actually embody their character, and they're not just recognizable, but they actually exude that character in a really, I don't know, convincing way. That was something that I was really worried about. when you're listening to these people sitting around the table playing their characters, you come up with your own mental image of what they look like, and then you factor into that the fact that there have been years of hundreds and hundreds of extremely talented artists making their own visions of the fan art of these characters. And a lot of that art has then coalesced into, well, this is what we as a collective think that Pike looks like, and what we as a collective think that Vax and Vex look like, from the descriptions of the cast, and then from the official art that comes out from them. Um, but it becomes a question, kind of like, you read Harry Potter and you've got your own vision of how all this world looks, and you watch the movie and it's totally different from how you envisioned it. Does it work? It's a thing that's a disconnect, and I don't get any of that disconnect. And that implies to me that there's a lot of care put into making these characters feel like themselves, and they do. And we start to get that immediately as soon as we jump into this scene and start revealing the characters. And I do like this in media res setup and the kind of joke that we get with these, oh, we are great heroes, we will, and they all get slaughtered and it goes bad for them. Yikes. A real true beast here. But we jump over here and we start immediately doing something that in a meta sense is very efficient characterization for all of our characters, one after another. Pike and how she acts, Vex and how she acts, Vax and how he acts, Percy off to the side drinking, Keyleth gets too drunk and is funny about it, Grog drinks a lot and is funny about it, Scanlan's off boning. We got everybody covered. Check, 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 check. And we go a little bit further with it by having this other brigade of mercenaries pick a fight with us and get into a fight with us. Bad idea for them. Also, other things like Vax playing with the sexuality of other people and using it as a bit of a weapon because he himself is bi, are just things that are thrown in there to make this dense characterization happen. It's kind of close to fan service in a way. It's seeing the things that we expect from our characters in a way that we expect them, and that makes us happy to some extent. It pleases us that they seem to be following their character as we've seen it before, right? Like, that's what we would expect. And that's one of the difficulties with adapting something, is that people are already familiar with the characters. You don't get a chance to just introduce them for the first time. But you get a chance to introduce them for the first time again to show all the people who've seen those characters before and who already love them that you're still honoring those characters, and then to use that as a jumping off point for expressing those characteristics further. And we do that a lot here. And like, we do it so much that it's how do I put it? It's clear that it's intended. It's very meta in a way. Like, you'll see this kind of writing very frequently in the episode 1 of season 2 of a show, where you'll have a few minutes at the beginning of that episode where we jump to each character doing the thing that we expect that character to be doing, just to establish for everybody watching it, either for the first time or after a break from the first season, exactly who everybody is again and what they're about again. And then we move on from there and can do new things, but we start off with that. And it feels like this episode is very much a lot of that. And that's totally okay, because again, it's what everybody wants, is to see their characters as being their characters and doing the things that their characters do, and this is that. And so it's good. Vax gets to pick a fight, Grog gets to chop some hands off while grinning, and some dumb mercenaries get to be absolutely murdered by us because it's what we do. We like this stuff. We like it a lot. Okay, one thing that I do think is really good all the way through, terms of visuals and stuff, and I don't know how much of the fuzziness in the background is just the aliasing and like the fidelity of this being a web series, right? This isn't a Blu-ray rip or anything like that. This is just a web series. I like how we're using foreground objects in general, not super creatively, but there are a lot of objects in foregrounds that create interesting framings, as well as using like a faux lens on the animation. For example, this guy is not our focal point of the scene. This guy is, right? This werewolf dude, as he turns around, he's our focal point for this particular scene. We zoom out here and show that focal point, and the dwarven feller in the front is out of focus slightly. So our depth, our focal length is here, this section, and then this guy's a little bit out of focus because he's too far away, and this guy's a little bit out of focus because he's too close, just like my hand is now a little bit out of focus, and my hand is now a little bit out of focus, but I'm in focus, right? I I like this. I like this in animation. It makes the scenes always feel like they have more depth to them. It's a thing that's relatively frequently forgotten about, I think, when you're creating animation, is that the eye sees things in a particular way, and we're used to seeing things filmed with a camera in a particular way, and having like really deep focus where we are focused on everything in the background and everything in the foreground at the same time looks really weird to us and makes everything feel flat. So that we get away from that, really good. So here we've got an example of like everything's a little bit more in focus here because these are all our characters, but the wall behind them still out of focus. That's important. It's just important. And so we start us off with the throw, the slow-mo, and the slow-mo rush of characters together for The Legend of Vox Machina. This is pretty fun. Yeah, this is a pretty fun sequence, getting drunk Keyleth and all these characters going at it. It's neat. It's enjoyable. Okay, the fight itself. It's fun. That's the whole point of it, is that it's going to be fun more than anything. I don't love the way that the animation itself is animated, and that's just a stylistic thing. There are a lot of cool things going on, and a lot of cool stuff with like digital camera movement, and it's clear that everything's digital art, and we're doing lots of fun things where things move around. There's the sequence a little bit later where, this swing at Percy, and then here, and then eventually we turn our attention to Vex, and she dodges out of the way of some stuff a couple of times. Keyleth barf, ugh, gross. This is the fun stuff that's woven in, the actual moments of disgusting grossness. I am shocked by how adult this show is. I didn't expect it to be quite so adult. I didn't expect there to be like female partial nudity. I thought was too far. I thought would be too far. I'm happy with it being there. No problem with that. Means there's going to be a lot more stuff on Chastity's Nook, which is going to be interesting. But oh, there it is. There's the scene. This. Vex jumping backward, this in particular. We got the wobble cam, we got the wobbly character, and we got the bouncing around while making expressions with her eyes tracking the sword that's coming in. And then the whistle, the trinket, hello, I'm a bear. But it's that dodging backward sequence, this in particular. Episode 1 early scene in Legend of Korra is almost this exact sequence, except it's going the other direction, where Korra is coming toward camera as she fights the benders around her for her like first test sequence. And we use it a couple of other times. There's a lot here that reminds me significantly of Legend of Korra. Obviously being a high budget, high fidelity, Western, relatively modern animation series with a bunch of modern characters. There are reasons that I would think of that, and I'm not trying to do comparative analysis necessarily or say like, oh, this is just like Korra, but there are some similarities, and I wonder if there's any staff overlap. So let me check that about Studio Reve? Studio Reeve, yeah, them. Production Reeve. Reve. Oh. Well, Production Reeve, was a significant contributor to Legend of Korra, as well as working in the modern era on Mortal Kombat Legends, Voltron, Deathstroke Knights and Dragons, and Dota Dragon's Blood. So they are a booming modern animation studio, primarily based in Korea, that has made a whole bunch of things. So it's entirely reasonable that I feel like this is similar to Korra because the studio has worked on Korra, along with Studio Mir, of course. But there are reasons for that. There are similarities for a reason. That makes sense. And is not a problem or a bad thing. I think Korra looks great most of the way through. But it does have a particular feel to it that's very different from an anime feel. Oh, I can't show that on the YouTube. Hold on. Boobies. Just gonna write a timestamp down for boobies, because I cannot put that on the... No, that almost... I think I can put that on the YouTube, but that I can't. Hello, Scanbo, and yes, fully getting ready. I do like this throwback joke back here where we see that Scanlan is himself wearing a silk G-string, as he is wont to do. And we start having
Wonderful.
this conversation. Why is it we always get into situations like this? We're broke, and we're dumb, and nothing is working, and we suck. Why? This is cool. This gives Keyleth a place in the party at this moment. When I don't think Marisha had figured out exactly who Keyleth was at this point. In their play. That's I don't think that's a necessarily controversial statement. I love Marisha as a role player, and I love Keyleth as a character, at least what she grows into a bit later. But I do think in the early part she was struggling to figure out exactly where she stood, and I think all of them were. I get the impression that they really managed to get their group dynamics down pretty much in the first stuff that they were recording, maybe a little bit before. As far as I know, that occurred during like a certain thing that happened to Pike, being a big thing that brings them together. But I just don't know. And so having Keyleth be questioning their circumstance, questioning the group and whether they should continue on in this dynamic and what they should really be doing, I like quite a bit. As well as having everybody willing to question. Until Scanlan has a little convo, finds a little thing, and demonstrates that once again he is the leader of the crew, as always, with this new mission that we could possibly go on. So, hungover, dirty, covered in filth from being thrown into the street, we make our way to the Council of Taldore to find ourselves who is on the Taldore Council. And we start to see some big sweeping buildings. Yeah, so CG doors, they look fine. Trinket stays outside because he's Trinket. I like this scene quite a bit. I think this is very pretty. Big, over opulent structure. Literally nothing has ever looked like this. Nothing, no building has ever looked like this. Go look at, the great cathedrals and king's chambers and castles and meeting rooms of our real world, and nothing looks like this. Which is to say that it's pretty perfect for a fantasy setting, and it's pretty freaking cool. Yeah, it's neat and big and neat. And we have our whole squad. Okay, so we're using this guy, this Vince guy, as a hate sink. He seems weird, and so we're gonna not like him. Also, we got some weird vibes from him because Vex has Ranger Danger, and we get this song. Listen, if I get the chance to hear Sam Riegel sing a song, I'm going to be happy. It's one of the biggest things that I have continuously missed in Campaign 2 and moving into Campaign 3 is the fact that Sam Riegel doesn't frequently sing improvised or not or planned songs about ridiculous circumstances that they get into. Having him do this is fucking great, and the song itself is lovely. The actual animation for it is silly and goofy and very, very fun. And the final rap beat that we get into with the hip-hop Scanlan, I got no problem with it. It's fucking... It rocks, and it's great. It's good stuff. So how about we give them a chance? And it is Krieg himself giving them the chance. Interesting. But we get a harsh vibe. And off we go. Airships. At this point, I think we talked about all the major stuff, so we're gonna skim through a little bit. So we talk to some characters, do some investigation, do a setup with a character because we're gonna death flag this kid real hard. Hey, it's some cute kids who are definitely not going to die. We also set this up a little bit early. Hey, look, there's some romantic tension between our characters. Weird. Who would have thought? And the prints have become humanoid. This is a classic scare fake out. It's going to be a cute fluffy bunny, of course, and it is a cute fluffy lamb, and it runs back and gets squished. Delightful. Horrifying. Cute things get dead. Welcome to Vox Machina. Gosh, if we ever get to the other campaigns, it's going to be way fucking worse, because things get way fucking worse. You want to save this fucking thing? Holy shit. Yeah, well, I mean, we've got a goblin. All right, so let's mention a CG dragon. I don't like CG dragons. I've never liked CG dragons. I think they look like poop. I don't like how CG dragons look. I like how 2D dragons look. They're very cool looking when they are drawn really well. That said, it's super duper crazy to expect them to 2D animate a dragon. I don't even know who, as animators, you would get to do that, and there's no way you'd get to do it consistently. And so we get a big ass CG dragon. Eh, 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 eh. Yeah, I don't like it. I could make excuses for it, and I'm not going to. I don't like the CG dragon. That's okay. Everything else looks fine. The CG dragon looks like it's poop. It doesn't look good, especially when we get closer up to it. I don't like it. Now, I do like the effects around it. The lightning effects and such are quite cool and quite big and quite lasery and quite scary, but this stuff doesn't look good to me. This here doesn't look good to me, especially when we've got both things on one frame. Yikes. There are also, I think, a couple of moments where we have CG characters, because of course we have to, given that they are... Nope, those are 2D characters. Those are 2D characters. I guess not. I guess we're continuing to use the 2D and the 3D. It does also look very much like a Blue Eyes White Dragon, which is accurate. It's a blue dragon. It's a big blow. And there's fire everywhere. I do like how the fire looks. I think that looks great. And I like this thing here. So this is a thing. Oh yeah, Fear Aura. Finally, we've got another color in our shadows of everything. And everything, every single element of the show looks better because of it. Now, obviously, this should be clear, should be obvious. This takes more effort. It's another pass with another color, and it takes more animators and more colorists to do this stuff. It's more expensive, and it takes more time. But it looks so much better. It looks so much better. It looks so much better when there's this highlight section in there as well. I think it just looks immensely better. And so I wish that there were highlights throughout, right? Even though we're doing it here because there's the clear directional lighting from the firelight, and I understand that. I would love if we had shadow and color and highlight. One aspect of highlight for each color. One more, right? Because for each color, we've got a shadow, right? This is Keyless dark color. This is Keyless dark shadow. This is Keyless light color on her shirt thing. This is Keyless light shadow on her, or shadow on her shirt thing. And then this, of course, this orangey glow is the highlight color for the shirt thing. Same thing over here with Vex. Color, dark, light, love it. Color, dark, just one pass, don't love it. Looks flat. So everything during this whole fight scene, except for the dragon itself, which looks poopy because it's a big CG dragon, again, it's fine. Everything, to me, looks way better because of the colors. Also, more shout-out things. Blazing Bowstring goes off. Bigby's hand does punches. Good stuff. And, of course, Keyleth comes out of her fear, calls some lightning. I like how this happens. It's super rad. Everybody stands around her because we need her to do that a little bit later. And we zap a dragon, making it more powerful. Oops. Now, blue dragons don't get more powerful when you do that. Hold on. Yeah, demon, 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 devil, 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 devil. Dinosaur, 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 dragon, turtle, dragon, turtle. Are dragons separate? Oh, yeah, dragons are separate. My bad. Let's go with a blue, 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 blue. I think we're dealing with an adult blue dragon. That's my guess. Is that this is an adult and not an ancient, so I'm just going to bring up an adult blue dragon. Immune to lightning. Does not heal off of lightning. Nope. Immune to lightning. I love these. These are little cool insert cards that they're built so that you can hang them over your DM screen. You can fold them. I don't do that. I just use them behind the screen. But I bought a whole kit of them. They're called stat trackers. It's upside down because I've got the lid on the bottom, because actually the box, you can see like this side of the box does not exist anymore. You can see it's busted. So they'll all just fall out if I leave them, if I take them out. But there are like hundreds of, oh god, I just lost a thing. Hold on. Technical difficulties. There we go. But there are like multiple hundreds of cards in here of all of the various animals and basically everything that's in the PHB and DMG, and then some other stuff, as well as blank cards for you to fill out with your own monster stats, and also, which has been really useful for me, blank cards which you can fill out with character stats, as this is a full mini character sheet. With all of the abilities and skills and all the modifiers and all the other stuff on it. And then there's plenty of space on the back if you want to write in spells and stuff. So whenever I run one-shots, I'll write out character sheets on these and hand them to my characters, just so that they've got like a physical character sheet. Same if somebody is, I mean, I'll do all the creation of the thing on D&D Beyond and stuff, but if somebody is, for example, like just trying out the game or coming to join us for one session, which has happened a few times, I'll build them a little character sheet on one of these. They don't have to deal with like downloading all of D&D Beyond, and all of that stuff, so it's a little bit easier. So for character sheets, like these three, these were all for actually, I've been running 3 campaigns. I said at the beginning of this video that I've been running 2 campaigns. I forgot about, I've been running a third campaign, which is essentially Dragon of Icespire Peak, but I'm running it in a Redwall-inspired universe, so everybody is, like, rodent folk. And the characters there are a badger barbarian, a hare monk who has insane jumping skills because of, like, jumping power and step of the wind and monk shit and all that stuff. And who's the other? Oh, it's a squirrel ranger. Right, but I had built out some extra ones just in case. So I've got Shadow Flash, a black squirrel rogue swashbuckler. I've got Sliptail, an otter bard, and Martin the Seventh, a mouse rogue 3 swashbuckler. All of them being just characters that never got used in that whole thing. But, you know, they've got all their, like, traits and features and stuff on the back, and I like these cards a lot. Anyway, I just wanted to pull that out to look at Blue Dragon stats. Turned into a whole thing. My bad, sorry. Doesn't power them up, but it also doesn't hurt them, so it's reasonable. And away it flies, bye-bye, leaving us dead. But not dead, so we don't die, and we have our moment of fear and fright once more. Well, we're getting the fuck out of here, guys. No reason for Vox Machina to put their lives on the line, and Matt gives them a reason to put their lives on the line. They find a couple of dead children, and discover that they can do nothing to save them. And so they go for the next best thing. Vengeance, baby. Okay, look, see, look. We get here in the emotional moments for the close-up stuff. There's more colors. We got some highlights. Look at this shit. That should be there all the time. All the time. I guess it's because they're wet. So they're making them shiny. It should be there all the time. Always. This should still, these should, see how more better this is? Should always be there. Should always be there. It looks so much better. Even though it's just weird shiny shit because of the rain. It looks so much better. Okay, so we get this sweep out. Swing. Squad. Sick. End. Hey, guess what? Episode 1 is pretty good. It's pretty good. I do wonder if it stands on its own. Because again, there's so much of it that's dedicated to characters doing the things that we expect the characters to do. I think it does. I think it might. I think, let me know. If you're in the comments and you're watching this far into the video, I hope you are. That would be great. If you haven't seen Critical Role and you're watching this, do you get it? Does it make sense? Do you feel like you get where these characters are coming from? Do you get the world? Do you get the idea? I think so. I think given the narrow scope that we've seen so far, which is like the whole plot of this episode is There's a city, there's a monster. There are mercenaries, they drink a lot. They get in fights. They don't have a purpose. They find a purpose. They go to the city. They get hired to kill the monster. They do the job. They don't want to do it because it's too scary. And then they do want to do it because people get hurt if they don't do it, right? Like tracks. Do you get it? Does it make sense? I think it makes sense. I think they did something really smart, which is starting at a place in the story where we could really be at the start of the story, where these characters, while they've clearly known each other, maybe we don't know them yet, and we don't know that their destiny awaits, right? And so I think they've made it possible to onboard new people into the franchise, into the piece of media, which is really difficult to do, I think. I think it's very impressive that they've done it so well. Yeah, I think it's possible. Let me know, again, if you're watching this and you haven't seen Critical Role up until this point. Do you like it? How do you feel about it? Does it feel like it's like a fan animation for something you don't care about? Or does it feel like it's a show that might stand on its own that you might be willing to watch? It's hard for me to say because so much of me watching this is like, oh, I recognize that. Oh, I know what that is. And that's not necessarily the best way to engage with a piece of media. And it does mean that my discussion has been weird on this one because so much of it is like recognizable stuff. But I have a hard time fathoming whether these things are entertaining or enjoyable if you don't have that sort of like nostalgia or relationship to the characters already. So let me know if you're able to, after not seeing Critical Role, watch this and get it. Feel like you've got it at least. I hope so. I hope so, because that would be very cool. But I don't know. I just don't know. Okay, so I've talked about the way things look. I think that the art and production is pretty great. Obviously, the voice acting is pretty top tier, both from our general cast members who sound like themselves and have nailed all their voices. It's great hearing Travis do Grog again. I really miss him doing Grog. I love Grog's voice. It's probably one of my favorites in any of the campaigns. It's just so fucking funny. The way that he like lilts into different registers is magical, and there's a reason that nobody else can do a Grog. But then of course nobody can do a Jester either, but whatever. Love hearing Grog as Grog. Love hearing Vax as Vax. Liam doing Vax as his own sort of sandpaper gravelly type of thing, but man, it works and it's nice to hear. And Laura's so good and so talented. It's really high production quality. The music that they've created, I assume, is all, or at least partially, Sam and his brother, because that would just make sense. But there's a portion of it that's Your Turn to Roll, sort of a mix of that, and there's a portion of it that's like other themes that we've had, and a mix of that, and bits of the Critical Role theme used as the Critical Role theme, which makes perfect sense. I think it works really well. There's a lot to it. And there are ways that it could go really badly. But I think if you're down for an adult animated series with goofy characters, I think the humor lands. I think the violence is, there's maybe a little bit there for the shock value in the very beginning that's there just to be like, hey, this is what we're gonna do. This is gonna be some real stuff. I think it works. I think it's gonna change the way a lot of people see D&D. Which is really interesting, and I would guess that there's going to be a whole new generation of people interested in D&D because of this, and that's fascinating. If this show can do what I hope it does and break the boundaries between people who watch Critical Role stuff and people who just watch media and sort of mesh together, it's like inviting all of my D&D nerd friends and my anime weeb friends together for like a party to see if they can mingle and get together and get along and do something. It feels like a club mixer, It's weird, but I think it's gonna work. I think people are going to lose their shit over this show. I'm not losing my shit over it. It's pretty good. I like it. I'm happy. I'm very happy that it's occurring, and I'm excited to see more of it and to see where it goes from here. But I'm not losing my fucking mind over it. I'm happy. And I'm pleased with the result. In a similar way, I'm not jaw dropped, awestruck, mind blown. Wow, oh my god, it's so insane to see these characters alive and animated. It's not that crazy to me. What is that crazy to me is that a kick-started piece of media based on a Dungeons and Dragons campaign, it is now one of the like most talked about, most interesting pieces of media in existence right now, and everybody is hearing about it. That's very exciting because it means that two of the things that I genuinely love and have dedicated my life to, animation and Dungeons and Dragons, are going to become that much more popular and that much more enjoyed by more people. And I think that's fucking awesome. And I'm sure that the cast of Critical Role feels this way as well. Obviously, there is a financial incentive. They run a company that creates this content, but I am sure that they are mostly in it to make this piece of media because it seems fucking rad. And they can't wait to share this piece of creative content that melds so many of the things that they care about: voice acting, creation of media itself, acting, art design, as well as their own characters who they love and the story that they love of Vox Machina and this show that they love, and getting to share that with a whole new audience of people must be an absolute treat for them. And it's pretty clear to me just how much passion is put into this piece of media, and I think it's great. I think they did a really good job. Hell yeah. I think I'm going to wrap there for today and for this episode. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for bearing with my long-winded discussion, both at the beginning and the end. Hope you've enjoyed it. I do truly hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have or have not, go ahead and drop a comment about why or why not, if you find any of that interesting. If you have thoughts or comments on how I do the reactions and how I do the discussions and things that you'd like to see me talk about more, let me know and maybe I will. I read the comments. So, yeah, spoilers. Please don't spoil any of Legend of Vox Machina for me, please, because I will read the comments and I don't want to be spoiled on what happens next in this. I reserve the right to spoil you, but you don't get to spoil me. Fair? No. But it is the way that it's going to be. So please, no spoilers in the comments. I might elevate somebody to like mod position so that they can go through these and make sure that there aren't any, but we'll see. In any case, it's done. It's happened. It's out. It exists. And it's a magical, strange time. We'll have to see how, what effects this has on the world at large, but I think there will be some. Anyway, that's going to be it, guys. I've been Teeaboo. This has been Legend of Vox Machina Episode 1. I really hope you've enjoyed it. And as always, I hope to catch you next week when we will be watching up Episode 2 and seeing what happens next as we begin to hunt down the nefarious giant blue dragon who scares the pants off all of our characters. Thanks for watching. Again, if you'd like to get next week's episode a little bit early, it'll be up on the Patreon. Check that out in the description. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you all for your support. And is it Friday yet? Peace.